Hi guys, Ben here from Blooming Pretty Gardening Services. Today's video we're doing a lawn renovation. Um, I'll be using mainly Cobra petrol machinery. So the mower is the M51 SPB. It's a 4-in-1 mower. So it does mulch, side discharge, rear discharge, and it can collect. The collection bag is a fabric with a solid top on it. It's 60 litres, but it does clog quite easily when it's wet or very fine stuff. So it's on the bottom setting here because I'm scalping the lawn in preparation to renovate it. So the bottom setting on this mower is 25 millimeters. It goes up to 75 millimeters. So I'm just on the lowest setting, just scalping the lawn so that there's not a lot of height on it for me to go through with a scarifier. This has a Briggs & Stratton engine, which is an easy start engine with self-propelled, and it's a 20-inch or 51 centimeter cut. The easy start on it does make life very easy, as the name implies. It starts virtually first pull every time. You don't need to bother with a choke or priming it. It just starts up. So I'm just finishing off with the lawn. This lawn always looks quite nice and full, but it is quite thatchy in places. And it's not mossy, it's just got thatch in it. So I've probably missed starting the video, so that's why I'm a couple of stripes out. So I started with the bag on this scarifier. It's a 2-in-1 scarifier. So it comes with solid metal blades, and has 18 in the cassette, or it has 24 sprung claws. I think I'm using the metal blades on this lawn just because I wanted to cut through the roots and the thatch. So as you can see, the bag filled up pretty quickly because it's only a 45-litre bag. But if you take the bag off, it doesn't spray the stuff out, it just puts it nicely on the floor. Just go over it a few times in a few different directions to really get the thatch out and let the grass breathe a bit more. It's a Cobra's own engine. It's a 212cc recoil start engine. This has very similar looks to the Honda engine. That looks very similar to it. It has a fuel cut-off valve and the choke is built into the carburetor. It weighs 36.5 kilos and has a recommended retail price of $379.99, which for what you get out of the machine, it's incredibly good value. So here I'm just going back in a 90-degree angle to the way I went the first time. There's probably a few stones in the lawn because it's quite a new lawn. So I think I'm flicking out stones. That's what I was just looking at. So it has depth from -15 to +5 millimeters. It's probably only just scratching the surface there. Didn't want to take masses out because it's a new lawn, or new-ish lawn, probably about a year old at this point. So the other machinery I'll be using, it's a S40c scarifier from Cobra. The other machinery I'll be using is a BP43c Backpack blower, also a Cobra machine, and the BC330c brush cutter, which I've got a review video on. So here it's swapped to another clip. I missed out the cleaning up because it's can be a bit boring, me just raking thatch up into piles. So here I'm going at a 45-degree angle to the way I've gone both times, just to double check and make sure that I've got all the thatch out. Say not a lot's coming out now, just a little scattering on the surface. Yeah, we're picking a stone up. It's got a 2-year domestic warranty. All of the Cobra machinery comes with a 2-year domestic warranty, unless you get the commercial range, which usually has bigger engines on them. Like my long reach hedge cutter has a Kawasaki engine on it, and that's a commercial bit of kit, but I think that's only got a 1-year commercial warranty on it. I think I picked up a big stone in one part around where I am now. Went with a hell of a clunk. So I'm just going back round the edge just to make sure I've not missed anywhere. I'm actually going... Oh, there you go. I've turned it off. I was just getting the end row where I'd been turning around. So I've raked it all up, and now I'm going back over with my mower just to cut any of the longer bits that have been left standing up with the scarifier, and it also helps to pick up any debris and dust that's left in the lawn. So this mower has a retail price of $486.99. It is a fairly decent mower. I've left my rake on the lawn as usual. So it started off a nice day, and then the weather just deteriorated a little bit as I was going on. It started to go a little bit breezy. And then just as I finished, there's a bit of a thunderstorm. When you look at it from this angle, the lawn doesn't look like there's much bald patches in it. It looks quite full still. But when you walk over it, it looks quite... there's some quite bare patches. There we go. I forgot to press the record button, as usual. So, I can't remember the brand of my rake. I think I picked it up from either Toolstation or Screwfix. It's I think it's a 36-inch landscaping rake. It's aluminium tines, and then I've got a flat blade across the back, and that's what I use to push the compost out. I think it was 24 bags of compost and 100 square meter lawn. Or was it 26? I think it might have been 26 bags of compost. But it's just, I put seed down and a pre-seed fertilizer, and then this is just top dressing, covering over the seed to give it a bit of protection from the birds and the elements, the weather. So I'm just pushing it about, making sure it's all like got an even layer across the whole lawn. And next time I do this lawn, I'll either use like a fine topsoil or even sand to top dress it, just because I want it to be a more level lawn. It's it's a little bit, it's got a few dips and hillocks in it in places. And this is my last 3 bags that I'm putting down now. The wind started picking up. Do love those ear defenders. They're the Still Dynamic BT ear defenders, and I think I'd be listening to a podcast on them. I don't very often listen to music, or I used to listen to a lot of music, but I tend to find podcasts are a bit better to listen to when I'm working, because I actually learn something from them sometimes. So just spread out the last of this bit of compost here, and then I'll go over it and just see whether I can level it out a little bit more, or get it spread a bit more evenly. I know I'm not going to level it with compost, because as the compost is absorbed by the soil, it doesn't add any more structure to the soil. It only adds nutrients and stuff, so the soil level doesn't grow. It just adds organic matter. So they're just going across and filling any sort of missed spots on the lawn, and try and even out the layers, because I've still got some patches that are quite thick. And then, so I've always liked this lawn. It's always looked nice and green. I think the summer this year did affect 1 or 2 parts of it, mainly underneath the tree at the back in the middle. It sort of was a very, very dry spot, and just underneath the tree where it didn't get watered, and the tree was taking a lot of the moisture out of the soil. It's quite sandy soil here. So there we go. It looks a bit more even. Just breaking up a few of the big lumps and clumps in it. About where I am there, there's a dip. And that's just an old Titan blower. That's a pain to get started. I've actually replaced it with a still. And then I've got, like I say, the Cobra backpack blower, which you'll see later on in the video. So just swap to the other view. See how the weather's changed. It's gone very windy. Just as I finished filming this little clip, it actually started a thunderstorm and really hammered it down. So I didn't really need to put the sprinkler system on. I just wanted to make sure that I had put some water into the lawn. And there's the flash. So, lovely little garden this one is. Right, here we are back probably about 6 weeks later. I've already done 1 cut on it. I just thought I'd do another video of it. This is probably November time. It's still growing really fiercely. I didn't realise the sun was on the camera quite so much. So this is the BP43c brush cutter trimmer. This is the M51 SPB mower, and I always, because of how this lawn's laid out, it's got some plants down both sides. I start in the middle so that it gives me a nice straight line to mow to, so I get straight tram lines in it. As you can see, I'm sort of fighting with the plants to get it all trimmed up and mowed up nicely, and then I'll go back and carry on mowing with straight lines. Then I'm probably mowing at about 40 centimeters here, sorry, 40 millimeters, just because the grass is so fresh underneath. I usually use a Hater 41 to put the stripes in, but with it being freshly seeded, I didn't want to put the roller mower on for a couple of weeks or a couple of months after I'd done it, just so that I didn't damage any of the new fresh growth. So probably only get one bag off this lawn. I wasn't actually cutting a lot off, I was just trimming the tops just to make it look neater. So while I'm thinking about it, if you could hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and hit the like button, and then go and find me on Instagram and Facebook, it's all much appreciated. So finish mowing, emptying the bag out, and then we'll come and get the blower and just blow the pavement, the patio off, just so that it doesn't leave any grass stains on the patio. Blow the water out of the grid as well. There's that two little flick up handles in there. See you in the next video, guys.